Hello, welcome to Fast Forward EVs, and happy Earth Day to all who celebrate, which I imagine should be pretty much everybody on Earth, I would think. It's the end of April. It is historically the annual trip I take to all the Electrify America stations on the highways in Ohio to check on the state of charging for long distance travel in my state. Scratch that. We're not doing that. I spent last night looking at all Electrify America station statuses, and it's just a little worse than last year as far as chargers being unavailable and chargers being derated. And that's from their own reporting, and their own reporting is usually optimistic. They've added, again, this would be the third year in a row I've done this, so in the past 2 years, they've added exactly one location that is up and running, and it's a second Cincinnati location. So it's a mere 10 miles from the existing Cincinnati one. So it's essentially useless. It's essentially just a capacity expansion for that area. And Cincinnati already had the biggest EA charger in Ohio. The one they had was like 8 stations or maybe even 10. Nowhere else in Ohio will you find 8 EA chargers. You'll find 4. And again, it's been 12 months since the last trip, and the last trip we found most of the chargers were in use when we got to them, and we were lucky enough to be like, we didn't have to wait anywhere. We were always like there was one stall left, kind of a thing. And I'm just not going to put myself through this trip to see in person how bad I know it's going to be to rely on EA's network in Ohio. So for this Earth Day, instead, we're going to do a different trip. We're going to go to the nearest Tesla Supercharger that is open to CCS, has the magic adapter, I think it's called. And that is in Fredonia, New York. It's about a 250-mile drive. So doing that and back would be pretty much the same as one day of my EA trip. And it will give me an opportunity to stop at one EA station, one of the one in Mentor. Then we'll drive to the Tesla Superchargers in Fredonia, and there are 12 stalls there. I just checked, and currently none are in use, but whether that will be true 4 hours from now, that's a different story. Hopefully they'll roll that out soon to more places farther west of New York, because we need it. We need it a lot because EA is just slowly dying instead of expanding. All right, let's go. Hot Rod Lincoln. In the 80s, we used to get off here in Richfield, go to the Coliseum, see Ozzy or Kiss or Rush or Triumph. The good old days. Okay, here's the situation here in Mentor. 4 chargers. 3 of the 4 are derated to 50 kilowatts in the app, according to the app. So I plugged into the one that claimed 150 and I'm getting 80. So that's the sitch. Not good. Okay, time to go. Get away from the loud music at the sheets. They blare it. We're on our way, and this road is bad. Here comes a Herbie the Love Bug. Pretty cool. Wild and woolly Pennsylvania. I've never seen a Porsche anything tow something. That is a Porsche Cayenne towing that trailer. Vineyards all around us. Welcome to New York. State to state, no papers. Okay. We are very, very close to the birdseed. There they are. Literally at a Denny's. Fascinating. Okay, I can't really park where I need to for any of those, so I will wait. One kind of works. Okay, here's my station, 1B. I'm going to plug in here. I don't think I can do all this with one hand. Let's see. Charge here. 1B. Why would I add? It has all this. Oh, let's stop. I can't believe I missed that. Anyway, I had to put in my billing address, and then it said proceed, and I did. And I unlocked. It unlocked, made a clicking sound, and I gave it a good yank, and it came out. I plugged it in, and we are now charging. Let's go see what kind of rates we're getting. So, pulling 101 kilowatts at 35%. I think, is it at 50 degrees? Yeah. Let's see if that ramps up a little bit before it gets to 50% is where it would be. On the best days, at 50%, it would drop as low as 100. Let's see if it ramps up a little bit from 36 to 50 before it ramps back down. Anyway, the experience is pretty good. Handshake didn't take super long. Took less time than it typically does on EA. Well, it doesn't look like this is ramping up, more like ramping down. Not happy with that. I know it's 50 degrees, car, and we were driving pretty slow the last 40 miles. So that's probably a lot of it, but the battery pack heater ought to heat up pretty good once we start charging. At least that's been my experience in the past. One thing we can see is in the Tesla app is that it costs actual money to charge here. Giving us 10 kilowatts already, and we've paid $4.90 for that. Actual money? Is that how this is supposed to work? You pay for your energy? That's not the future I want. Yes, it is. It is the future I want. Happy to see it. And boom, there we are. Charging successful. I just heard it click, so I think it has stopped. Let's go find out. There we go. For some reason, the car locked the port. Okay, that's it. Okay, thoughts on charging at a supercharger. So everything went with it as I expected it would, except for the app, for some reason, forgetting my billing address information, because all that was set up before. I bought things from the Tesla website before. I've placed and canceled orders there, so that shouldn't have been there. But anyway, maybe the charging side has a different billing system than their product side. And then I went to pull on the Tesla handle, and it didn't really move until I kind of yanked on it upwards. So it's like it has a little, you got to do a little upward push to unlatch something. Then it came right out, and it was a little bit smaller and a lot lighter than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be rather unwieldy, and it wasn't too bad. The combination of it with the Tesla handle was certainly no worse than Electrify America's handles with their much thicker cables. So all in all, that was fine. You do have to be very careful to park as close to that adapter as possible, because the cables are not long. It will not reach to the other side of the car if you get it wrong. And even if you were to back up with the thing with the whole unit centered directly behind you, you would probably not reach either side of your car with that cable. It's that short. So that's something I think they're gonna probably deal with the next gen. Is they need another 2 feet on that cable so that people can park directly behind the charger, and then whether they're a Tesla or something else, they can get to whatever side their charge port is on, rather than the design they have now, which assumes a Tesla is going to be there, which means the port is going to be on the left rear, and so the lines for parking are lined up so that the chargers are like at the lines rather than between the lines. And that's going to have to change if they're going to be car agnostic. So I'm definitely looking forward to Tesla expanding this network, because I think it'll give us a great short-term boost in the number of chargers we need to have around, so that people can reliably travel out of their home area and find chargers on the road. Because EA has not stepped up yet. They talk about doubling their network by 2030 or whatever. That's just woefully inadequate. If they doubled every year from here till 2030, that would be closer to what is required. But they're talking about taking 7 years just to double from where they are now, rather than 1. Whereas Tesla's growth rate was 30, I can't remember if it was 33 or 36% growth in the past 12 months. And they were starting from a much higher count than the other charging networks. So that's, at least that is the benchmark. If 2 years from now this is the same, I'm definitely going to be at a point where I will have regretted not purchasing a Tesla instead of this. Double whammy is that VW Group owns Electrify America, and I still can't plug and charge there. Is that going to be true in 2025? It's still going to be true. It is not. It is entirely possible, if not likely, that in 2025 Tesla chargers will be doing plug and charge with VWs, and Electrify America still won't. That is a distinct possibility. It's a sad situation, and I hope it gets better. Knock on vegan leather.